Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Thomas Mueller. I'm Associate Professor in the Communication Department at Appalachian State University in Boone, North Carolina. Today I'd like to talk a bit about how to create a free, no-cost, most efficient social media campaign. There's a lot of things out there in the news. Many of us want to talk about news items, create content, maybe become more popular among the social media consumer base, get our ideas out there, maybe books, sell products, etc. So I'd like to take a quick walk through some of my ideas on how to manage your own social media campaign. Let me pop into a PowerPoint here for a second. What's about a most social successful campaign? What's the most successful way to proceed? Write short and write a lot. I have a lot of friends that really struggle with writing long blog posts, and I'll talk about blogs in a second. Write a lot, labor over it, edit for days, and frankly, they don't get a lot of content out. When an idea hits you, craft it into a piece. I usually suggest starting that on a blog. Write short, put it together, grab some good images and put it in there, and then write a lot. Keep a lot of content going out. Short pieces, a lot of pieces going out on a regular basis. Okay. Be witty. Think about your headlines. What grabs attention? What brings people to think more about the news item of the day you want to talk about? Who have you been reading about? What books have you been reading? But be insightful. Bring people to make another decision or another thought about what they're working on, or if it is insightful and you raise some new thought they hadn't really thought about before, they may be able to, again, share your social media and take it out to yet another new audience. Okay? Take risks, but proceed with caution. Don't be conflicted, too controversial. And again, I'd suggest this, totally my opinion, but do not criticize others. There's so much flaming on social media now, in politics, in religion. Build up through insightful comments. Bring more to the social debate, not less. And again, be thoughtful in what you tell people. Don't just rant about what somebody else posts, but again, add to it. Potentially bring in other sources of information to build somebody's understanding about a topic. Create quality content. Okay. Once you build your content, the big key in my social media campaign is to repurpose and leverage the content across as many channels as you can. It's your content, make it work, take it out in a lot of places. Okay? I suggest, some people say blogs are dead, blogs are good, but a blog is yours. That content in a blog is yours. Your blog is a repository. That's where you keep your stuff, okay? You repurpose and put it out other places. But remember, always think about your blog as the place you want to host things, and also the blog is the place you want your traffic, okay? You can take traffic to other places with things you write, but it's still your blog where you're going to build your brand identity, okay? So from there to other channels, where should the traffic go? Think about where you're headed. What places can you put it? And who's going to be reading it? What kind of ideas can you bring in? I've got a little twist here on Twitter that might help you a little bit, okay? Bring the best audiences out. I'm going to talk a little bit about LinkedIn too. I think you can really find a big user audience in LinkedIn that most people aren't tapping into, okay? And I realize I call this free. It's the no-cost social media campaign. It's really sort of a homemade version, but there is a commitment. You have to think a lot in terms of what your media is going to be, what kind of content pieces you want to put together. And again, I've struggled with it at times too, just to be always on and putting things together and keeping up. Relevance and keeping in the public eye is when people will keep coming back for more. Okay? Be efficient. Again, don't struggle and spend a lot of time on this. Get it out and move on, because you've got to get a new piece ready to go the next day or the day after that. But always keep it efficient and learn this system so that you can move quickly through it. Okay. Continuous improvement. I don't have all the answers. I'm building new things. I'm thinking about new ways to get out into social media. Sometimes there's a chance to get more of an audience. Sometimes the platforms change or new platforms emerge. So you have to keep thinking all the time. It's always an ongoing experiment about what are you putting out, then track the analytics on it, see how many views you get, see how many people are looking at it so you can understand what the value is, or can you do it better? Okay. And again, I'm not into all the social media. There's more. There's Instagram, which is more visual. I don't do a lot of. Snapchat is out there. A lot of things, students I'm working with want to use Periscope now. Okay. I'm doing a lot more with YouTube because I have a lot of people interested in my YouTube content. Okay. And the big frontier out there is podcasts. Some individuals, and I love following this as a case study, have come into the marketplace with really not a whole lot of experience, possibly not the right education in certain fields, but they've created, 500,000 listeners on each episode just by working hard and putting out content people are interested in hearing about. Okay? And if you want more, leave a content on this YouTube post. Tell me what you want. If you'd like to learn more about how to build content, write content, images, whatever, and I'm going to go into a second a few of the first steps, but leave comments here so I can track what you want, okay? This is me, profwriter.com. So again, feel free to check out my website. Got some books for sale there, but it's a place where you can go and learn more about me. And now let's get on to taking a little look at what we can do with some of our media, okay? So I'm going to pop into now, let's go to my Blogger. I use the Blogger platform for blogging, okay? And this is where I start. If I have an idea, maybe it's short. Today it's a little bit long, but we had a wonderful guest speaker here yesterday at Convocation. We just had fall convocation at Appalachian State University. And the speaker was an individual named Ishmael Bea. And he is an individual who grew up as a child in Sierra Leone, and he was a boy soldier. He had to kill to stay alive. And he wrote about this, a memoir of that. It's a very compelling book. It was used as our summer reading book for freshmen at our university. And he was here speaking, and it was very powerful. And here's my insight in here. How do you really today affect the attention span of students? How are you better than a smartphone? That's where all the action is. Everybody wants to flow their feed from the smartphone. How can you be more compelling or better than that? Ishmael was. He controlled the audience. We had a big sellout crowd of students. He was captivating. He was transparent. He was authentic. So I'm motivated. You can tell. So I wrote, here's a blog piece. Here's that piece of content. Okay. I'm a writer. It took me about 20 minutes to put this together. I pulled in a visual here, a cover of the actual book. Up here is a shot I took yesterday, a photo I took with a caption of him at a forum that followed the convocation. Okay. So here's that. And I left it ready to publish. So here we go. So I put a headline on it too. A boy soldier brings stories. Let's do this. That are medicine. Okay. And I'll tell you, I may go back later and change a headline. I want to get it out. I'm trying to come up with something that's a little compelling or a hook for the audience, okay? So I'm going to bring this up, and again, if you want more on how to do Blogger, there's plenty out there, but I like the format. I laid this out, put the headline in, and I'm going to hit publish, okay? So I go to this, and I put, now the first thing I have to set up here is this now goes to my Google. See how it's repurposing already? Well, I have a couple of Google Plus pages. Here's one. I've got almost 600,000 views on this Google Plus page. And here's another newer one where I promote my book and some other personal things. I'm up at about 100,000 views. So I can click back in here and go back into Blogger, and right away it's prompting me from my blog. Now I go to blog post, okay? And I'll put something here like boy soldier tells all at, my typing's not too good today. University convocation, okay? And that's just a little hook to get them in, and then I set this to public so anybody out in the whole universe of Google Plus can see this, okay? And then I go share, okay? So there I've just moved it. I've just moved that piece out to Google Plus. And then also if you go up in here, I'm going to click on this story. This is my Prof Writer blog. I can go up here and click more, okay? And here are more options to share it out, okay? You can take it out to Facebook from here. So I can take that same blog post and now I can repurpose it into my Facebook page. Here it is on my own timeline, okay? I'm going out to my audience now on Facebook, okay? So I'm going to put something else here. Boy Soldier tells about how stories can be medicine for the pain of war. So again, I just draft a quick headline. Here it is. See, it brought in my blog post now into my Facebook page, okay? On my own timeline, this is going out here to friends, and I go share link, okay? So I just went out to Facebook. Now I go more up here again on my blog, and there's one more option up here, share with Twitter. So I can go out here. Now, here's where I'd suggest this. Always be careful. Don't always just auto post with the options. Think about what the post can read on Twitter. And here it's Prof Writer, that's my blog name, and it's using the headline I used on my blog, a boy soldier brings stories that are medicine, okay? And I think I'm going to be okay with that. Again, this is a tweet now that's going to bring people through the link back into my blog. So I'm going to tweet that out, okay? The next big piece is moving on to LinkedIn. I have started here and I actually went ahead. This is my LinkedIn page. I went to the blog option in LinkedIn and I actually replicated my blog post. Again, I moved the main picture in I had, and it says credit the person who made this image. Well, that was me, okay? So I guess if I wanted to, I could click up here and put myself in, right? And then I fix the image up here so I can get all ready to go here. But again, this is my blog. Exactly. I just copied and pasted all the content in here. So now I'm going into LinkedIn, okay? And I think it's ready to go here. And I'll go publish here. So now I've taken the content out. And it says add tags. So I might put war. Oh, I might put, let's see. Let's just, for now, I'll go boy soldier. I'm sorry. Okay. And it's not coming up with anything. So what I can do is find other tags in here. Sometimes you can see what it'll pull up. And I'll just leave it for that now, but you can change the tags. The point is this will help people find the article. And then I'm going to go publish posts. And it is going to publish. And again, here, I have 537 LinkedIn followers. That will be going, now again, they're wanting me to publish through to Facebook and Twitter from here, but remember something. If you bring their opt-in back, you will be directing all your traffic back into LinkedIn, okay? They want that. Of course, LinkedIn's a business. They want you trafficking back into LinkedIn. If you noticed, I use these Twitter and Facebook function options out of my blog, because I would like to direct people back to my blog where I can designate it my traffic. Okay? Personal choice. But that's something I've been doing lately. So I'll skip this part. And again, then I've got my story going here, and I'm not going to do this. So I'll go ahead and then here I'm going to take you back to my profile and show you some bigger things that can happen. Here is where you can really get ahead with using your LinkedIn. If you go up here to interests, I believe it is, go to groups. This is where the real gold is in LinkedIn, because what I'd like you to suggest is after your blog's posted on LinkedIn, you've got to join groups. That's where the big audiences are. I'm going to give you an example. See where it says don't see what you're looking for? I'm going to click find group. And just for an example, I'm going to try nursing and search for nursing, okay? Here is what you do. Here's a nursing network, 70,000 members, okay? Public health nursing, 20,000 members, okay? Nursing student network. I love to tell my students about this. Look for students, groups and, topical groups with student function, okay? Nursing Student Network, 15,000. If you're into nursing, you want to join 2, 3, or 4 of these nursing groups, okay? You want to be into groups. That's where you can direct your social media content into a big, big user base that you aren't ordinarily going to get in front of. Now, a lot of these groups you have to join, and then it's permission based. After a day or so, almost always they'll let you into that group, okay? I will say this, before you press ahead in LinkedIn, make sure you have a nice polished profile built in LinkedIn so that people can see who you are, what you're doing, and how you do your job, okay? Or you're a student or whatever, but be professional. And you can see down here, I've got 29 different types of posts and articles. And here's the one I just posted here. And what I like to do is, you go down, double check it, always make sure it's done properly. And what is so good about this, though, is when, you can get back in and start looking at how your posts are playing out. You get, some traffic ideas on how they're doing. And also, I'll notice sooner or later, my post will pop up here in and among all these other posts that I see. Okay, so it's really important to know what you're doing in LinkedIn and again, to leverage into those groups. Once you have your blogs posted and you'll come up to it, there will be a share option underneath the post. And there is where you can go share and go groups, and then you can enter the group you want to share that story with, okay? And so I'm not, for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that right now, but I would suggest that you join into your groups and then go ahead and always leverage, again, just putting your post into LinkedIn isn't enough. It might get some play with the public because people will come upon it, but to specifically direct it into certain user groups is where you can really get a nice audience, okay? So for today, that's what I suggest is most important. You have a little bit of add-in for your blogging. That can be a great start, and get it there and then move it through your Twitter feeds, move it through Facebook, move it through your Google Plus sites. And then again, as a professional, academic, business person, whatever, really, really work well within LinkedIn to get your blog post in there, get your voice, and then build it out to a lot of different audiences. Okay? So I hope that's helpful today. I look forward to getting back comments, feedback, whatever you have after you viewed most efficient social media campaign. Thanks a lot.